everyone's sandbagging their bloody garages. Smart idea. I've done a little bit for my front door. Liz! Hi Liz! I'm in a cyclone. Well, it's on the way. Cyclone Alfred is about 300 kilometres that way. He has slowed down. They're not expecting him until sometime Friday, later than they projected. So for now, everything's still open as far as I know. I'm going to go for a walk to the shop and see just how it is. Now, Queensland Great Wall has all these sleepers and poles and crap. It's piled up. So much for, oh yes, residents should tidy up their yards, etc., etc. Yeah, so there's Alfred somewhere out there. And he is starting to get a bit intense. The vibe, the total vibe outside is it's real weird. Like, I feel breathless. Even though there's plenty of wind, it's like it's just getting sucked out of me. Hey Bill, how are ya? I haven't flown away yet, I'm not Dorothy. How are you going? You got everything sorted? Made your preparations? I can see, no, you're right, love. I'm just out to actually see if there's anything open.
Yeah, I heard that the supermarket's closing at 12. So
oh, okay.
I'm just going up to Coles. See if
Alright, well, I might join you. Yeah, I was just curious because they said they were going to close everything yesterday. Oh, they got the fiery set up in the car park over there.
Ready for everything.
Must be.
Typical old man.
Yeah, grumpy old Alfred, yeah.
Take care.
But there he is back there, guys. That is, as far as I can see, is the edge of Alfred. Man, what is going on? So he is on the way, guys. He's being cantankerous. God, I hope the Maggies are going to be okay. I'm having a real hard time breathing. Right, we'll see what's open. Hey. Oh shit. I've hurt my bloody foot again too. Somehow. Time is, it's only 9 o'clock. Heaps of time. Heaps. Everyone would be fools, you know. It's a beautiful day, the sun's shining. But I've started noticing that the birds are disappearing. So, at least in my immediate area, like I've seen, usually see all sorts of birds. And now the crow's gone. I didn't hear the corellas this morning, but I heard lorikeets. So, all the bigger birds are like, yeah, we know what's going on, we're out of here. Like, they know. And if you should trust anything, it's these fucking birds because they know when shit's about to go down. They go into hiding. Pigeons are this. Yeah, that wind is definitely starting to pick up. It's probably going to be the last time I go outside, if I'm being honest. I really just want to make sure I've got enough snacks. Anything else I might need. I do need some brown rice, so, right? They know. I saw a couple of the Indian minor birds, like the brown ones, early this morning. The willy wagtail's still been around, but that's it. There's a crow. I feel really like I'm struggling to fucking breathe. I don't like it. It's so weird. It's not like I'm out of shape completely. I just haven't been to the gym in a couple of days. For someone who can talk on the phone on an elliptical trainer, I'm really struggling. They're still saying, like, there's a potential that it could fucking hit me here. They don't know where it's going to land. They've been really open about that. They're like, well, we can predict, but the models that they're predicting, it's going to land anywhere between Maroochydore and fucking Gatton. Like, well, thanks for that. The Windy app has been really, really helpful with that, actually, because it shows all of those different projections. The sparrows are still out for now. There's an ibis. Yeah, it's getting eerie, honestly. Brand new, like, police vehicles and stuff. So that lady was saying that Coles is probably going to shut at 12. It's 9 o'clock now, so we've still got a couple of hours. Hopefully I can get what I want. I don't know if anything else is going to be open in there, but we'll see. Oh, there's baby birds and everything. Shit. Well, guys, keep an eye out for injured wildlife. I'm thinking I might run around with the box a few days after see if I can find any injured wildlife to send to oh, look, there's another one. Undercover brother. Well, this is where my wife works, has shut down their online shopping. Yeah. Well, it's not safe. Ew. Giant grocery giveaway, huh? Spend $10 or more, or 60 or more in Coles. What have we got here? Mystery stuff. Jesus Christ. South American barbecue flavor? Alright. Basically just here to get snackies. Noodles. Check out the cat food situation. What I wish I could find. One of those door snakes. I still got plenty of them. Oh, fucking fully stocked. That's funny because Warrenfield was damn near out of everything. People won't go get their own food, but we'll let some weird Uber driver handle and deliver it. Yeah, I know, right? It's funny that. Yeah, I should probably look and see. Yeah, I'm gonna get some dehumidifying thingies. Help stop damp, mildew, and condensation. Pack of 3 for $6.75. Let's see if they'll see, I'm now thinking ahead. I'll see if she'll do the single for a 3-pack instead. pull them off the bucket. Just want to get some like cheap towels or something. Gone. One gone. No C-cell batteries. Come here. Lucky I got them yesterday. I've got a bag under all of this stuff. I'm wondering, so there's only one of the 3 packs. Would you do 3 of the singles in the 3-pack price, or is that unallowed?
They're separate ones.
That's alright, I'll sort
We'll
it.
see.
Don't ask, you don't get.
Never hurts to ask, but
that's
they are
right.
different.
Yeah, I
Well,
get
same
it.
product, but like different.
Promotion, yeah, I get
Yeah,
it.
different promotions. Do you want this one left out so it doesn't like crush anything in here, or do you just?
No, if you can probably chuck it down there. I might get a bag just for the
Yeah, no
rest
problem.
of
I'll
it.
just put the pet food in here. Now, so there's that one for you. There we go.
Oh. I noticed the rest of the C batteries disappeared pretty quick.
Oh, that's all right.
There was some C batteries left yesterday afternoon.
I think everyone's.
I spent $18 last night at the service station for a 2-pack of C-cell batteries. But they had heaps.
Yeah, I think everyone's trying to. $60. I think everyone's trying to stock up on the ones while they're still available.
Yeah, exactly. Are you guys only open to 12 as well?
I think we're open to 5. We're just not doing late. It just
Oh,
depends on the site, and that's.
It's coming, it's slowly coming. It's getting worse out there. A little bit. Yeah, well, it's looking really nice now, but the wind gust has started to amp up a bit. See you. Let's just walk towards the oncoming trolley. That's brilliant. Oh, they're only $2. I'm going to come back for some more of those dehumidifiers. Should have gone there first. Now I've got tea lights. Got candles up the wazoo. I've got puck lights. I have batteries for puck lights, which I could probably get some more of. Food-wise, like, I don't really want to eat anything, but need to get stuff, you know. Let's see what they've got in the way of their fridge. Oh, sorry. spicy chicken, smoking. 2 for $5 on avocados. And that's squishy ones. Ooh, that's a squishy one. Anyone ever noticed how avocados kind of look like pickles' fat cousins? No eggs. Fuck all eggs. No eggs, still. I mean, they have some, but not a lot. Milk, it tastes like real milk. Let's go see what the UHT situation is like. No worries, Bill. Wholemeal wraps. These chicken wraps. Oh, what did I say I was coming in for? Rice, brown rice, that's all. Legends, jerky. Eggs, no. No eggs. I'm doing snacks though. And I need brown rice for my dinner. They have plenty of water here. Just not in the shelf. It'll come in overnight. Sugar, cookware, paper towels, battery, my jars, rice. I don't think it's down here. I think it's this one over. Yeah, it's people are getting a bit funny, honestly. The whole cyclone thing happening. Let's see what their batteries are like. Super Alkaline 10 pack. That's the 14 pack. The battery charger, one each. I would have been raking that in, but there's still one left. That's funny. 21.20 for a battery charger and 4 batteries, which, funnily enough, is probably right in line with what it's worth. So they're $26.50. Oh, $5 off. Ooh. Yeah, this thing in the back of my hair. Yes, it is. Doesn't count when it's literally like pears and fucking peaches. Got plenty of toilet paper, as you can see. Plenty. So, you know, all the panic buying and shit is just so stupid. There is more than enough for everyone. You know, there's enough to go around. Why the fuck do people have to panic? And, you know, panic buy all the toilet paper and the water all over again. It's beyond me. I have no idea. But it's stupid. Trying to make sure that I've got enough of everything. Get another cat litter just in case. And I might have to take an Uber home because this is way too much.
6 hours and so one for my brother and this pretty long. Mum said I'd try and do everything January and this is my day, so yeah.
If your cat's anything like mine, she won't eat it anyway.
Hey?
If your cat's anything like mine, she won't eat it. Doesn't matter what you buy.
Oh yeah, you know, you buy something this week or you eat it and buy it the next week.
I'll portion mine out and she'll just still take the tiniest little amounts. Like, why?
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Oh, just because I ate it last week. I think I'm going to eat it this week.
Yeah. That's about the only thing she does eat is the stuff with the gravy in it. She's a gravy queen.
Yes. Yeah,
Unless I get her the pate and I put a little bit of warm water in it, and then she'll eat that. But they don't make the pate in the dine anymore.
We went to Choice, Choice the other day, and they had these things, and it was like a moose thing, and they didn't like it, so we only bought a few because they didn't like it. And I said to my daughter, we'll go down, we'll get some today, but I think everything snapped shut. Because we've just been in the post office. The post office is closed.
Yeah.
Everything's snapped shut.
Apparently they're closing Coles at 12.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, glad I decided to come down anyway.
Yeah, well, we've just been to the servo in Lower King Street to get petrol. And lady said they're closing at lunchtime.
The Ampol?
Both of them, they're closing all
they all
around
would,
here. The only one's going to be open is the Big Fish.
Well, that's great for people down here, but oh well. Yeah, it is what it is. Can only be so prepared for it all. $1.75 for popcorn. One of those. Mate, I'm gonna be all munchied out. I've got so much shit in my trolley. Hello. Lolita, welcome. You are watching Cyclone Prepping. Oh, I went down the wrong aisle. Although, I'll use some of those. I might have to take an Uber home because there's just so much that I need to get. Oh, yeah, cute. Get some coffee if they've got any left. Not really.
If you have a Coles app or Flybuys card, please scan at any time.
Oh, for fuck's sake, man. I just scanned the bag. There. Fuck off. I'm beginning to be increasingly pissed off with these machines.
Signed by a man.
I scanned it and it goes, oh, you're using your own bag. No, I'm just buying it.
Key in the item's code or lookup item.
It's in there.
Quantity needed.
Right. This is bullshit. One of the reasons I don't use those shoes, yeah, no. Well, there's a line up at the chin. Oh, yeah, no, it's okay. I had to... Fucking look at me. The fact that you have to have a sign just says it all. sorry. My fault.
$30, thanks. Yeah, just in aisle 2 on the right hand side on the very bottom right.
I'm looking at that little unit. Yeah. The bathroom.
How much where they
I'm just
are.
curious.
Oh, they were out the front on the black properties, or we might have more on the top of our seats. Oh, they got Take your seat. It's a rechargeable one. We got a
Sorry.
How many of these?
4, please. I just got some at the reject and they're actually more expensive than what those ones are, but I'm just going to get extras. Do you have bags at all?
Yeah, we've got these ones for 75 cents. Did you want the dehumidifier?
Yeah. Oh, it's actually more for my cat. I think at this point I'm just taking an Uber home.
Probably the wisest
Yeah.
idea. Oh, this is the floor.
Oh dear.
$15.75. Thanks.
Wonderful. Just on card, please.
Tap on top or insert.
Oh, new machine. It used to be on the side. Yeah.
Need your seats?
Yeah, I'll grab that one, please. Thank you. Joe, I want a discount. I'm definitely a tight-ass Italian. Yeah, probably about a year. Just wait in a line or there's no checkouts open. I will request one if I got to do. Go job, I want a discount. I'm definitely tight-ass. Yeah. I get ya. The bitches didn't last too long. They must have gone home already. Nothing left. They got some fixtures in the corner. That's it now. All gone. It's not there anymore. Ha, 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 ha. Couldn't have happened to a nicer bunch of cunts. This, however, is rather interesting. So, did I just spend? No, I didn't. I spent $20. There, and 15 in there. Okay, so any specialty store. roofs and stuff. We've got doors and stuff up there. What? What? Need to work out whether I'm going to Uber it or whether I'm going to walk. It's so deceptive because it's sunny. You would not think that there's a cyclone on the way. So they have set up an emergency centre at the Memorial Hall here. Yeah, they've started sandbagging and stuff. They've started sandbagging their garages and things. So we're in full swing, guys. I think I might just, I was just going to try and get an Uber. Bear with me. Yeah, I'm up on King Street at the moment, Bill. I'm just going to wait for my Uber. Need a pickup spot. Oh, Holden, Colorado. Nice. He's coming from Morayfield. Just stand on the trolley and get blown home. There's only one problem with that. It's going the other way. Oh, that's great. Whee! Oh, the police are out. Everyone behave in an orderly fashion so the cops don't lock you up, although it's probably the safest place to be in a cyclone. Woo, Holden, Colorado. He's still halfway down Morayfield Road. Oh, I'm in the middle way. He's just down at the lakes now. You guys are going in my pocket when he gets here, sorry. Sorry about that. You don't need to see me that close. Right now, I've got heaps of stuff. I've got food, I've got water, snackies. I got everything that I normally would, more or less, during the morning shop. Probably spend a little more than I wanted to, but you know, it's worth it, I think, because now I don't have to worry. I've got some snappy bags to fill up with water and put in the freezer. I now have more than enough dehumidifiers and things. I could probably afford to get a few more because they're only $2 at the moment. And that shop will be open till later, so I can always go back down and get another 5 or so. But I think I'm set. So yeah. Don't need you guys to see me that close up. It's totally not necessary because I'm ugly. Really, they're just for the rooms that I know are gonna get fucking hammered by water, so it's the best I got, honestly. Best I can do. Just in case, I've got some more washing liquid. I've got snackies. I've got this bath water. I did get Dizzy some more wet food. I should have got her some dry food. Still got time. I can run back down then. What do you reckon? And I still didn't get my brown rice, so. More batteries. More glitter. Let's go. Yes, I was up in King Street. Drink and I head down there. Plug you guys back in and you can come with me. Alright, shall we go? I should do my hair again. I did bring in the final 2 potted plants from the landing. Hair looks like shit, but who cares, right? I still get my steps in today. Wow. I'm making like a tomato, onion, carrot, and chicken hot pot. I just need brown rice. It's definitely getting darker outside now. Still got to 12, right? Ooh. I don't know if I want to go out now. Look at that. It's getting dark. You know what? I think I'm just going to stay home. That would be the smart thing to do. It's getting a little weird. It's calm right now, but that wind is starting to pick up when it does gust. The shops are all going to be closing more or less from about 12 o'clock. So, like Coles and Woolies, they're going to be closing at midday. The bargain shop. Oh yeah, sure, just leave the hose out. It's all good. Hey Jenny, how are you?
Good, how you?
Oh, you're getting there. Think I'm almost ready. You got some sandbags for your doors just in case?
No.
That's the only thing I'd be worried about on the ground floor. They're saying it's going to pour down. Do you normally get any water? Yeah.
I'm going down to the Coles and I don't know. I just worry about the windows.
I've got my curtains up, so I mean, if they break, they break. That would then be up to your owner or the insurance to cover it.
Sorry?
That would be up to the owner or insurance
Yeah,
to
well, it's
cover.
up to him, yeah. But, yeah.
Yeah, if you're popping up to Coles, I'll pop up there now because they're going to
Yeah.
close about 12.
Yeah, that's I'm going now.
But
'cause I thought
Bargain
probably-
Central, the girls said they're going to stay open till 5:30, but whether they actually do or not, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Alright.
So I just ran up to King Street and it was quiet.
Well, that's why I'm going.
Yeah.
Because I can't get to Moorfield. There's no transport.
No, there's no transport.
So I had got to go down there.
Yeah.
Unless I drive the car, but yeah, I
Or
don't
the
want
Woolies
to
or
wait
whatever.
for it.
Mm. Lots of people are sandbagging everything already. It's a bit excessive. Yeah, it's getting a bit darker, for sure. The birds are a hell of a lot quieter. Fucking hell, mate. Fucking lung full of cigarette smoke. That was fantastic. Fucking grotty. did it do that? Well, I don't know if anyone's still here or not. Sorry, guys. Would you rather watch fish instead? Who's there? I see you, person. Am I in top chat again? Is that why no one's talking to me? No, Gilly was the last person to message. dear, oh dear. Boo. I look like crap because I got no makeup on. Hashtag no filter. This is stress. This is a stressed face right now. At least the fish are happy, so that's a good thing. I've got heaps of food. I've got milk. I've got toilet paper. I have batteries. At least enough just in case. Got my charging banks charged. I've got park lights have their batteries in. They'll work. I do have candles as a backup if I really want to, but it gets hot. Doing my last little bit of laundry and I might change my sheets just because I can. So I don't know when the next time will be that I'll be able to use my washing machine or anything. And the cat has clean litter box now. Should last her a week, maybe. Depends on how much she shits herself with this storm. I'm gonna have to put her harness on her though. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like this weather shit. Alfred can go sit on a cactus and rotate because he can. It's a bit scary. Look, not even retouch can help me. Seriously. So my stressed out black eyes. Well, it's probably my iron if I'm being honest. do look like shit today. Oh well. Unapologetically me. You tried dealing with a cyclone. Huh. Hey, Bill. I was wondering what was rumbling outside. It wasn't a fucking doggo. It was a. No, it wasn't smart. It was a Subi. A Subi Woo. Just a little guy. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. Oops. Oh. It's just out because I don't have very much laundry to do. So prioritizing space over comfort. I don't know. Yeah, looking at the weather today, guys, it is Definitely getting more gusty out there. And like as you can see, it's quite cloudy. The clouds getting darker, heavier, and that wind has picked right up. More so than it was yesterday. There's not a lot of birds around, so most of the birds are now off in hiding or away elsewhere. It's a big indicator that something is on the way. Watch the wildlife and how they behave, and you know, act accordingly. So I could have gone down to the store to get more stuff. I've decided not to. I've got enough here to last me. Like a lot. I've got heaps. I don't need to go outside. So, you know, just common sense would prevail, and I've just stayed inside. And I'm glad I did, because it's looking really bad out there now. It's starting to get rough, and you don't want to be out there in that sort of weather. So better safe than sorry, hey? You can see how fast that cloud's moving. Watch that little tree in the front there. Can I do this? I can, I'm in vertical mode. Haha. So there you go, now you can see the preschool, which is closed. All that cloud coming across. What do you reckon, guys? Is that a pretty good spot or what? Oh, no one's out there. You fuckers. Would you stop playing musical chairs and just fucking stay put long enough for me to sort this out? Everyone's trying to go to the shops now. Oh my god, she's crazy. So yeah, it's getting darker. My neighbour is crazy. She's pretty cool though. She doesn't give a shit what I do. At least she tells me that. Oh, eyes are green today. Right, what was I doing here? I'm going to that one. See that? Your emergency. Your emergency services. So that offered later on Friday was something between Maroochydore and Port Gala. Dodgy and disruptive wind gusts, storms and heavy rainfall are expected to develop later today, impacting parts of southeast Queensland and northern New South Wales. The cyclone outflow could now push into Saturday morning. Commercial airlines have suspended services from Brisbane Airport for this afternoon. Woolworths is beginning to close its Queensland stores and Saturday morning early today, which is quite a point because even Coles was only open till 12. Still showing that it's going to hit somewhere between here and Brisbane. That's going to fuck everyone up. That really just very destructive winds. Still saying it's a category 2. Due to the uncertainty in the future movement, the indicated winds will almost certainly extend to regions outside the rings on this map. The extent of the warning and watch zones reflects this. This product is designed for land-based communities, mariners should read the coastal waters and see to high seas winds. So it's slowed down to we've got gale warnings within the next 24 hours. So everything's closing today. So it's category 2 sustained winds near the centre of 95 kilometres an hour with wind gusts up to 130 kilometres per hour. Within 30 kilometres and 27.4 degrees south and 155.5 degrees east to 45 kilometres east of West March to 25 kilometres east northeast of the Gold Coast. So he's made about 100 and something kilometres over. West at 10 kilometres an hour, so he's slowed down again. Offshore of the South Pacific coast. Up is currently category 2 and is expected to remain of similar intensity until the centre starts to interact with the coast and islands. The centre of Alfred is expected to cross the coast very early Saturday morning, most likely 20 degrees south of the valley. Destructive the west wind 155 kilometres an hour and develop about coastal island locations near to the south of the cyclone centre. Dangerous storm tide at normally high tides. Heavy rainfall, intense rainfall, dangerous weather, flash flooding, under action. Jesus Christ, I hate this one.
Keep working in today and hopefully tomorrow. There's also outages across the Tweed in several thousand in the Tweed across the Lismore. I don't have all that data. There's 1,200 staff in the Energex patch that are responding now, will respond over the next couple of days. We've also got 800 staff in the outskirts of SEQ to come in and responders we need. So there's 2,000 people out there. That's lineys, vegetation people, safety people, and all the gear that they need. The other thing I'd like to touch on, there's been a bit of social media around Energex turning off power. It's just completely false. It's fake news. We're dealing with it. We don't turn off power in these sort of outages. Mother Nature does enough of that for me.
Thank you very much, Peter. Over to you guys. Thanks very much. Yes, there is, and staff from the department will continue to go out there and offer any support. I just want to be clear, there is the Department of Housing has put in enough provisions to be able to house any vulnerable person who takes the offer up. Those offers have been made over the course of the last couple of days. There is also a homelessness hotline, and I can get that information and I'll share that conversation with Queenslanders as well. There is a hotline if people want to call, but those provisions are in place and every effort will be made to assist those people to get from park to accommodation if they So the department has been there across the last couple of days. Not everyone has accepted the offer, and we will continue to make that offer to them. My view is that during a disaster event, how you treat vulnerable people is a mark of the kind of society that you are. And it is important that if there's someone in an aged care home, they need to be given every opportunity to be safe. And likewise, if there's someone who's sleeping rough. Now, I've spoken a lot about my vision for housing in this state, and I'm, obviously at the moment we're focused on a disaster recovery, but we do need to provide more housing, and that's a long-term goal of mine. But in the short term, there must be provisions for people who are in a vulnerable position. The department will continue to do that and offer that. Not all of those offers have been accepted for a raft of reasons, and I'm sure you understand that, but we'll continue to make those offers. Yes, there is, and not only, it's a question, not only is there an analysis done of those aged care homes that are in a vulnerable place, but we also then work with those providers to work out what is the best provision for those elderly people in those homes. Wherever possible, you don't want to move elderly people wherever it's safe to do so. So often it's a case of, can we get them to a higher level? Are we able to have power in place in case there's vulnerabilities with some of their generation at flood levels? And all of that analysis is done, but I can assure you if they are in a place where they are unsafe, proactively they will be moved, obviously as a last resort, but our determination is to make sure that everybody is given the best chance to get through this. And again, I am extremely confident that the provisions are in place that can ensure that Queenslanders are kept safe during this event, and I'm urging Queenslanders to do the same. And I've been through a few cyclones, and I can assure you that you can get through them. It's just every little bit of work that you do at the moment makes a world of difference at the other end. And because the cyclone's approach to the coast has slowed, despite the fact it remains a Category 2 in intensity, it's given Queenslanders a little bit more of a window just to double check and triple check your processes, know your evacuation plan, make sure that you've cleared everything as best you can. It has given a little bit more of a window to further improve things, and we've made the most of that window from our provisions as well. Yeah, Jack. Sure. Matt, that's one for you, but I'll make this observation. The moment we get information, I assure you Queenslanders will get it, and just showed that in the last few minutes. It may change, that's the nature of cyclones, but I take the view that every bit of information we can give people allows them to be able to prepare for whatever that circumstance is, continue to prepare for the worst. That's the best way you can be with these events, and we'll continue to make that information public, as Matt will do right now.
Okay, so the question was around the lingering nature of the system out over the ocean. It is a Category 2 system. Confident about that analysis right now. There was some concern yesterday that may further develop into a Category 3. The chances of that have reduced. As it approaches the coast, that slow movement is a concern in terms of the rainfall and the potential flooding from that, although the latest guidance has similar rainfall around the southern side of the system as it impacts the coast. So there's not an appreciable change in the expected rainfall. It's just a little bit later for the onset of the really heavy rain as the system moves across the coast.
Are they still talking?
Absolutely, it'll be more than a matter of hours, particularly with the rainfall. The actual crossing of the coast is likely to be sort of 3 to 6 hours, but let's just really hone in on that as the system approaches.
I forgot I've got my headphones in. You guys haven't heard anything either.
As it crosses. Typically something.
So they should. So I'm getting 23 bills in my G-string now. It's really going well. Oh my god, what are you guys talking about? Make sure you wipe down the pole for the next. Oh my god. You guys. Hi Ian, hi Dusty. Hi guys. I'm just listening to the latest update. Look at it outside now. It's getting darker. The wind's picking up. See the tree just there.
Our focus
Like
is on
it's picking
the
up.
response, but it has to immediately go to the recovery after the event. And,
Yeah.
one of the benefits of having this technique
The
is that
cyclone slowed down, so they're not expecting it until like Friday afternoon.
So as of today, right now,
There's still no guarantee of where it's actually going to make landfall, so it could be anywhere from here to New South Wales.
recovery coordinator yesterday.
Um,
So now's the time.
so all of the
Yesterday with those local governments,
all the shit that they're talking right now is just
the
fucking
moment
stupid.
there is damage, they're able to go and repair some of that key infrastructure so that it's not part of a squabble waiting to see whether or not they might be reimbursed, which is the amount of money that they can go into. So it has to be seen
It's just trying to fuck off.
what happens.
Coming from an American that complains, like America complains about everything.
Often there is a lag in how individuals do their response. That's completely
I have a couple
So
tattoos.
our role is to make sure we do all the preparation, all of the response, all the recovery there. And,
Got one here. I got one there. I had one there, but I'm getting rid of it.
yeah, that's right. Just stay in touch.
I don't know the whole pot going at the moment. There's some shit going on. Which I might actually pull out now. Just tomato-y, really cosy.
Again, we give the information. So yesterday,
I
we learned
complain,
that we
except.
know voting from much from yesterday. So that was channeled out. And it's important that we, particularly those who want to live on vessels, know that it's not the best place for them.
No shit. I'm still trying to work out how they think that people would turn down leaving for a safe place to go in a fucking cyclone. Who would turn it down? That's over. Big brush. That's right, big frappuccino.
Do you keep deleting slot games one after another? Well, here is one game that you won't want to delete.
Okay. Thank you.
heavy to locally intense rainfall in southeast, urging people to develop a plan if you are in Bay until at least Saturday. Daily rainfall totals of 200 to 400 millimetres are expected, but they could exceed totals of more than 800 millimetres in some areas. And of course, ABC emergency broadcasting alerts can be heard on your local radio. You can stay across the latest warnings and information on Cyclone Alfred on the frequencies of your local area. You can also find your local station on the ABC Listen app, and you can of course follow our live blog online on the ABC News website. For the latest information, head to abc.net.au/news. Well, Sally Branson from Runaway Bay at the Gold Coast is one of those people who has had to evacuate her home in the line as Tropical Cyclone Alfred approaches. Sally joins us now. Hi Sally, thanks so much for your time. Can you tell us a bit about your situation? I understand you've moved your family into your mum's retirement home.
So we just decided it was the best option. We've been paying attention to the disaster dashboard with the government and the Gold Coast City Council. We've been looking at maps, and our street is predicted to flood in the worst case scenario. We're high-ish, so we just decided the best option though was if we were with our mum, who is 82, she lives in a retirement village. We've also got a family friend, Emma, here, who's studying at Bond University. So rather than her being on halls of residence by herself, she's with us as well. So it's sort of a little bit like a camp vibe at the moment. But we made that decision because my mum's house is a bit more solid than our house, and we were following instruction really. I think there's a sense here there's been a bit of hurry up and wait, and I think that came through in the press conference. Just because it isn't moving as fast as we first expected, it doesn't mean that we can calm down or relax on the preparation.
Absolutely, and this has of course given people a bit of an extra opportunity to prepare
Now they're
their
starting
homes.
to
How
tell
did you
people to
prepare your
hurry up
place
and wait.
before you left it?
So we've just done the usual things like take all the furniture in, remove anything that could become damaging or a missile to our neighbours while we're away, park the car safely, and then here we've done all the usual preparations. I think everyone's freezing water for as long as we can. We know some of our friends already a few kilometres away have already lost power, so we've got the water freezing, we've got the batteries at charge, we've got the torches, and around us as well. I think we went and checked on all of our neighbours. We're in a suburb with a street with a mix of demographics, older people and young families, so we've all been talking on the group WhatsApp groups. I think though that there is a real sense within the community that that people need to get the information from the right spots. So there's quite a bit of drama and intrigue and infighting on local WhatsApp groups, not WhatsApp groups, sorry, Facebook, social media posts. But I think that everyone feels as positive as they can be. Obviously, there is so much uncertainty, and even just from that press conference, we see that information has changed and moved and shifted, and there is that uncertainty. But my general feel is that people are as best prepared and trying to control those things. But I went down the street before just to get some more milk, and there were people still out having coffee in the cafe.
Yeah.
There's big feelings, I think.
Yeah, a bit of a relaxed vibe. I've heard particularly from people in Queensland today noting that the sun has been shining this morning. Has that been your experience as well? Does it sort of feel like that kind of eerie calm?
There's been a lot of talk about it now. Little mum steps, actually, we're all saying to us, oh, it's like a great day to go out on the water there at a canal. Everything looks very calm, the sun's shining, and there's lovely white fluffy clouds in the sky. And so it was a bit of that feel, I think, that we all moved really quickly and really well to be as best prepared as we can. And then we woke up this morning. I had barely
Home.
anything
See
last
you,
night.
Ian.
We
Bye,
woke up this
Dusty.
morning and there were these beautiful blue skies. That has slowly changed. There's a bit of wind that's picked up here. We just had a bit of a burst of rain. But I think Everyone's feeling good. I was woken up by my son Fenton last night, and he heard some wind. He said he's at the cyclone already. And I said, no, not yet.
I think you
but
broke
to that
my
point too, the schools
Why
have
did
been
you
great,
break my nightbot?
And I know a lot of teachers have really well prepared.
Broke my
the kids
nightbot and
around
ran
here.
away.
So, and
Motherfuckers.
there's Queensland Health have got books that you can download and share now that explain to young children what a cyclone is and look for the helpers. So I feel like there's some really helpful conversations going on.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. You've got two little kids, and this is obviously a very unusual and stressful situation for a lot of southeast Queenslanders who have never experienced
Kids
a cyclone
fucking understand
like
more than you
this.
think, mate.
Do you think people in your community are feeling prepared, and how do you go about keeping your little kids calm in a situation like this?
I think it's about providing the right age-appropriate information. We've been sharing information. I think that's really and there's such different conversations. I actually said to someone yesterday, trolls love a crisis because they like to be able to comment and strong commentary and cause a bit of drama online. So we're definitely staying on those platforms. But we're making sure as parents that we get the right information. And as I said, the school's been excellent. They've sent kids home with a bit of homework. They've also explained Magnus, my 8-year-old, said last night when I mentioned to them, he said, oh, I'm pretty being all under control. We know all about cyclones. You don't have to tell me anything. So lucky we've got a cyclone expert in the family now. We'll see how that goes.
Absolutely, yes, very important to keep across all of the emergency updates from the right authorities. Sally Branson, thank you so much for your time.
That's
and
still like
thinking
so
of your
funny.
next couple of days as this cyclone really ramps up.
That interview was so fucking arranged.
You're doing, it's really
I
important.
don't know
that
what
we
the
get
news is
such
talking
good
about, but I
information,
like
so
hearing
thank
it.
you.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
about the cyclone.
Well, as we've been saying, Tropical Cyclone Alfred is the first to make landfall in the
You reckon?
southeast Queensland and northern New South Wales region in about 50 years, meaning a lot of residents don't have any experience with storms like this. The chief engineer at James Cook University Cyclone Testing Station, David Henderson, says that those in the line of fire must be patient and be prepared.
This event's going to be moving very slowly. We're going to be under severe winds and forecast to be hanging around for several hours. So people have got to be really prepared in their own minds, and what they've got them in their house, wherever they're sheltering their house, to be really bunkered down there for quite a few hours around. And you're right, the noise can be really huge. There's also going to be potential for a lot of wind-driven rain getting into our buildings, under our doors, under our windows, because in this type of wind, the wind's coming horizontally. So it's getting blown up, our roof going up, valley gutters maybe dropping down into our ceilings and space, depending on the wind speed, the type of house, all of those things. So the big thing with people is it's just going to take so long, and then afterwards there will probably no power for several days. So we just got to be really patient and prepared.
Is there anything that people can do while the cyclone is hitting to sort of calm those nerves, perhaps?
I think the realization that we're in it for quite a while, and just to be really do all your preparations beforehand. So that includes cleaning up all the yards around, making sure nothing can be moved by the wind. Like if you can move it, the wind is definitely going to be able to move it. So that's all big pot plants and pulling down your shade cloth structures. It's pruning away stuff, so less chance of your windows getting broken by debris, which then causes pressure to suddenly come in and cause a great big load on the house, plus all the wind and water coming in. So make sure we got the prep, so you've worked out which room you're going to be sheltering in, usually the smallest room with your corridor, nothing with any big windows in it. And then you've got your water, your food, lots of battery things to keep your phones going, provided the network's up and running afterwards and those things.
There have been stories around about possibly leaving a window open or a sliding door ajar or something during the winds to prevent them from smashing. Is there any merit in that rumour, or is that a bit of an old wives' tale?
No, it's not a wives' tale in that if you think of it as the house is a box, and on the windward wall, that's huge amount of pressure pushing on the windward wall as the wind goes up over the house, it's all these forces trying to pick the whole house up by its cladding. If on the windward wall a window breaks or a door blows in, that pressure comes inside and can really greatly increase the load on the roof structure. If you have a leeward window open or ajar, that may help reduce some of the pressure, but only may. But the problem with that is that you're not seeing that the wind can change direction. Other things can go wrong with it, and what you might have done if you haven't closed that window and the wind changes direction, you now pressurize your house. So the advice that we get given from the emergency services is that they want the house to be all sealed up, and you're sheltering in the small part. You're not putting yourself in harm's way by being near a window or anything else, but you're getting hit by potential debris or broken glass.
Absolutely. And how will people know when a cyclone has passed, and how can you tell the difference between that and the eye of the system passing over you?
Yeah, the eye. If you are going through the eye, it can be a very sudden shock that the winds just rapidly scream back up again. So do pay attention to emergency services announcements through the bomb or through the local government radio to make sure that that it is safe to go outside. And even when it's safe to go outside, I mean, look out for fallen power lines, look out for anything that could be damaging to yourself.
David Henderson from the James Cook University's Cyclone Centre, thank you so much for your time. Well, let's just recap the latest on Tropical Cyclone Alfred. Now the system has slowed. It's now travelling at about 10 kilometres an hour and currently sitting about 225 kilometres northeast of the Gold Coast. It remains a Category 2 system. It's producing wind gusts of 130 kilometres an hour. The latest modelling has it crossing the coast very early on Saturday morning, most likely somewhere between Noosa and Woolwich. Warning stretches from Southern and Point of Queensland, Grafton in New South Wales. That includes Brisbane, the Gold Coast, the Sunshine Coast, Byron Bay and
I'm
Ballina.
about 45
The
minutes
system is
away from
expected to bring
Noosa.
damaging and destructive winds and heavy rainfall, which are expected to combine with high tides. That does increase the flood risk. ABC Emergency is, of course, broadcasting alerts on local radio. You can stay across those latest warnings and information on Cyclone Alfred on the frequencies listed on your screen now. You can also find these stations on the ABC Listen app, and you can, of course, follow our live blog online on the ABC News website. For the latest information, head to abc.net.au/news. Well, there's more news on the ABC News app and, of course, on ABC iView. I'm Melissa McKay. That's all from me for now. Coming up next on the ABC News channel, Lorna Dunkley will be keeping you up to date on all the latest on Cyclone Alfred and the rest of our top stories.
You mean all the same shit that you were just talking about?
Tomorrow on News Breakfast, special extended coverage of Tropical Cyclone Alfred. I'll be live in Brisbane with Bridget as we bring you the latest warnings and advice for southeast Queensland and northern New South Wales.
Are we drinking or are we tasting?
I don't know if we have to choose, do we?
Rebecca Kidney returns in a brand new season. Surprise!
What's on the Callum co-owner? To pick up something of a hermit much love. Neither of those things is true. I don't think anyone wants to hear
Something going on if you went out with the police officer. All these weddings failed. Common denominator.
the crowds that weren't right.
Up to divides. Tomorrow on ABC TV, we'll stream the full season on ABC iQ.
Life, it travels fast. So for those in the news game, it's about jumping in.
It's also weird Australian electric outlet.
So in 2025, you'll need a show that's fearless. That's unapologetic. I'm so sorry for everything. And above all, prepare.
I can't, because I've got stuff plugged into everything.
Watching all the news.
Oh, there's one there.
Returns Wednesday 8:30 on
It's a
ABC TV
C-type.
and ABC iView.
Every voice counts. Every vote matters.
So there you
This
go.
election, have your voice heard. From all corners of our country to the heart of our cities, the ABC will be with you. We'll listen to your viewpoints. We'll ask your questions and hold things to account. Join us for as sharp as political minds. Every discussion, every vote,
And coffee.
Today, severe weather starts to affect southeast Queensland with tropical cyclone Alfred expected to make landfall early Saturday.
Okay.
Hazards including the wind, rainfall, storm surge and flooding remain. Expected to develop through today and increase as the system approaches the coast.
Thousands of homes lose power in northern
Okay, so New South Wales is already starting to lose
Also
power.
ahead, an emergency-level bushfire burning on WA's south coast escapes containment lines. And US President Donald Trump orders a pause in intelligence sharing with Ukraine after relations deteriorate.
Gee, I wonder why.
Hello, welcome to ABC News. I'm Lorna Dunkley. A slowing cyclone Alfred is giving communities in its path longer to prepare. It is Alfred's impacts could linger. Now that the system has slowed. The latest track map has Alfred as a Category 2 system. It's about 225 kilometres east-northeast of the Gold Coast and is travelling at 10 kilometres an hour. But its approach to the southeast Queensland coast has slowed. Estimates now have the centre crossing the coast early Saturday, likely between Noosa and Coolangatta.
A risk is, of course, that in slowing up that it increases in its intensity, but at this stage it is
That's our
still
Prime Minister.
Predicted
The
to be
Duke sounds like
Category
he's drunk.
2 as it crosses onto land.
The storm's impact zone stretches from Double Island Point in Queensland to Grafton in New South Wales. Hundreds of schools are closed. More than 660 state schools are shut in southeast Queensland. And across the border, almost 250 public schools are closed. Emergency services are mostly concerned about heavy rainfall combining with high tides and damaging wind gusts.
With every hour that approaches, your window to get prepared closes, but you still do have time. And it's important, if you are hearing these messages for the first time, that you do take it seriously, as are we. But I assure you the preparations are in place, and if you do your bit, you will get through this.
Across the border, the southern tail of Alfred is expected to produce rainfall totals of up to 400 millimetres in the northern rivers and tablelands. More than a dozen prepare to evacuate warnings are current, and the SES says sandbags have been restocked. Strong winds have already brought down power lines, with supply cut to almost 4,500 homes and businesses at Ballina, Lennox Head and Tweed Heads.
Alfred is behaving at the moment like a completely unwanted house guest. It's told us that it's going to be late, but linger even longer. And unfortunately, that means the window for destruction in our community, heavy rains, winds, powerful surf, is longer than we would have otherwise liked.
Well, we've got reporters in both states on the ground. Owen Jacks is in Golden Beach and Sean Tarrant Goodwin further south in Ballina. First to Owen, who's at Golden Beach on Queensland's Sunshine Coast, one of the major centres in the cyclone's path. Owen, hi there. So it's slowing down, giving something of a reprieve there. Are people ready?
So basically just done another slow cooker.
I think so. People have
70 meters,
been really
too
lucky
widely
to have this
criticized as
reprieve with
nothing.
Cyclone
Yeah,
Alfred
exactly.
just starting to go a little slower, as you mentioned. We were advised by police and the council that today would be essentially D-Day, and
Yeah,
that
'cause
we
we
would
don't
start
need
to be
anything in
feeling
between.
these really intense winds from first thing this morning. That hasn't panned out. Obviously, you can see around me that wind is picking up, but it has meant that there's been more things available, more time to prepare. Any last-minute nailing of fence palings, it's all being done. There's a real interesting feeling this morning where people were still, it felt like going about their daily lives, but still knowing that this was on the horizon. People were ready for it to begin, ready for the cyclone to start arriving, and then with it slowing down and now being pushed to a late Friday, even Saturday morning arrival, it's just given that little bit of breathing room for people to take those extra precautions.
Oh, and we can see the sandbags on the building behind you. Is there still last-minute preparations going on?
There are still lots of preparations going on.
People
we
are
heard
using
from Rosanna
potting mix
Natoli, the
now.
Sunshine Coast Mayor,
'Cause, they
that
ran
this
out of
cyclone is
sandbags
essentially teasing us
yesterday.
by taking its time. But what it has meant is that sandbagging stations were due to wrap up last night at about 8 o'clock. That hasn't been the case. It's now been extended for 24 hours. But we did hear that at just one station on the Sunshine Coast at Caloundra, which is not far from where I'm standing, they moved about 160,000 kilos, so 160 tons of sand, as people just got sandbag after sandbag to protect their homes. That preparation is going ahead in coming down to here at Golden Beach, which is obviously a very vulnerable area, perhaps the most vulnerable here on the Sunshine Coast. You could see the sandbags lining the fronts of houses with the black plastic behind it. And I've even driven past a couple of houses where they put sandbags on the roof. Maybe not super sure whether their tin roof will hold in the storm. So yes, those preparations are absolutely going on.
Oh, and authorities are giving regular updates to residents of both New South Wales and Queensland. What's the important information that you've taken from those updates?
Yeah, well, the most important thing that we're watching each day is that earlier on in this cyclone's modelling, there were absolutely predictions of the eye of the cyclone coming right over the centre of the Sunshine Coast. The modelling now seems to suggest it's going south of us, as you mentioned, between the Sunshine Coast and the Gold Coast. And because we will be at the northern end of that cyclone, the suggestion is maybe we get a little bit of a reprieve from that heaviest wind and heaviest rain. However, authorities are still making it very clear that we're preparing for the worst case scenario. Anybody who's from North Queensland or far North Queensland knows just how unpredictable a cyclone can be. And we've had some more warnings even on top of that, with so many of the beach dunes here on the Sunshine Coast being eaten away by the waves. The council and other authorities are warning people to stay away from the dunes and keep children away from the dunes, because there is a risk that they could collapse on top of them. And you really feel like you're living in a different world where you're being told not to enjoy the beach too fully on the Sunshine Coast because it could be dangerous. It's a very strange place to be.
All right, Owen, thank you very much for that update. We're going to go a bit further south. 16 communities in northern New South Wales have been ordered to prepare to evacuate. Our reporter Sean Torrick Goodwin is in Ballina. What's happening there, Sean?
Well, Lorna, things are eerily quiet here on Main Street in Ballina at the moment, and that's because this is one of the many communities in northern New South Wales that has been ordered today to prepare to evacuate, and that's because this system is expected to bring an immense amount of rain, which will lead, or is expected to lead to rapid river rises and extensive flooding. Here in Ballina, that order applies to the entire CBD and surrounding areas, and that's because the Richmond River runs just a block from where I'm standing here, and locals have told me that during the 2022 floods, the floodwaters where I'm standing came to about waist height. So the SES is urging people who are considering evacuating to do so immediately, to go to family and friends first, but there are also multiple evacuation centres in this area.
Beautiful beaches along there as well, and we saw further north in Queensland the erosion that is happening. What's it like there?
That's right, that erosion is also going on down this far south from the massive swells that this system is stirring up. Beaches here at Ballina and further north at Lennox Head, the State Emergency Service has urged people to avoid those areas with reports of coastal erosion which could lead to damaging buildings and infrastructure. They've told people, while they may be curious, that as a matter of safety, it's important that they avoid going to those locations.
Just one final thought. The people that have decided to move out, how long are they being told that they might have to evacuate for? What is the what are we looking at over the next few days?
She was trying to say prognosis.
Well, there's a lot of uncertainty, Lorna, here. We just don't know what the trajectory of the waters here will be. This community was flooded for many days during the 2022 floods, but we're just not sure exactly what the extent of the flooding will be, so no one really has a lot of certainty. I spoke to some people here on Main Street before who said it seems almost eerily or surprisingly calm about the whole thing. Some of them live in higher up areas. Some of them even surprisingly hadn't heard that much about the warnings going on. It's a wonder as to whether the people who live in these areas have taken that advice more seriously and have already relocated. But yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty in this community as to what the extent of the impacts will be when they do arrive.
All right, Sean, Tarek, Goodwin, live for us from Ballina in northern New South Wales. Thanks to you, and thanks also to Owen Jack there, who's on Golden Beach on the Sunshine Coast. We'll talk to you both a bit later on and get updates from there then. In the meantime, I want to bring in Sarah Scully, who is from the Bureau of Meteorology, bringing us the updates and the tracking of the cyclone. Hi there, what is the latest?
Good afternoon. Well, Tropical Cyclone Alfred has started moving again westwards towards the south east Queensland coast. We're already seeing bands of showers and storms streaming onto northern New South Wales and parts of southeast Queensland as well. There have been some heavy rainfall totals with these bands, and we are expecting the rainfall to intensify as the system moves closer to the coast. We've also seen the gale force winds start to develop about the exposed coast of both New South Wales and southeast Queensland, and again those gales will start to extend inland and develop into more destructive winds from early tomorrow as the system moves nearer. But the timing of the system could be on late Friday or early Saturday morning as a Category 2 system for the offshore islands, and then weakening to a Category 1 system for the mainland.
That's interesting. It actually changed track a bit overnight, didn't it? It sort of doubled back on itself.
Yeah, did a loop the loop.
It stalled for a while before starting to slowly move westward again, and that was due to very weak steering winds. The whole reason why Tropical Cyclone Alfred ended up turning back towards the westward movement into the Queensland coast was due to a high pressure system down to the south directing it, and high pressure systems also have very light and waffly winds, which is what the steering winds started to weaken under the influence of that high.
Okay. Sarah, the Prime Minister talked about three prongs to this. We'll go through them. The first, he said, the storm surge and high tides. What sort of levels are we looking at?
Yeah, look, with the crossing of the system, we're looking up to a metre above the highest astronomical tide. So that can influence the impacts a number of ways. It can cause inundation of low-lying areas, but it can also prevent the water from being able to get away from the river mouth. So it can exacerbate flooding and reduce the speed at which that water can get away. So we've also got, there is really three major hazards with it, and then the second is the wind, and the third is the rainfall and flooding impacts. Yeah. So we do have flood watches current at the moment, and a few flood warnings that have now been upgraded for the New South Wales area for moderate to major flooding. And of course the winds, those destructive winds expected to get up to 150 kilometres per hour.
The destructive winds, Sarah, are they across the whole of the eye of this cyclone, if you like, the main area that we're seeing in our maps that's a darker red colour, or are they just specific to a very small area?
Look, we're expecting the strongest winds to be near the centre of the cyclone and just to the south of it. So those destructive winds, as you go head further inland, they're likely to be not quite as strong.
We're seeing the weather turn for the worse much more at the moment in northern New South Wales. Why is that?
The weather turned for the worst, just the onshore flow in the showers, do you mean?
Yeah, that it's the southern part of the cyclone that is whipping up a storm, if you like.
Okay, yes, look, we're expecting the worst of it on that southern flank because that's where we have these onshore winds. The winds turn around and they're offshore as you go to the northern flank, so it's slightly drier winds, if you like. The winds on the southern flank are coming straight off the warm oceans and much more laden with moisture that's able to be rained out.
As you mentioned, overnight it slowed considerably. It's back up to 10 kilometres, but was down to 7. Does that make it worse or better? Does it cause less damage if it's travelling fast or more?
Well, look, the fact that it has slowed down means basically that that part of the world is exposed to the impacts for a longer period of time. So when you're looking at, say, the dangerous surf and the inundation of low-lying areas from the powerful swell, that's going to be continued on for a longer period of time and may bring more coastal erosion and more of that flooding in the low levels. So, and as well as that, the showers streaming off, there would end up being more showers in the storm, so slightly higher rainfall totals.
I know you're gathering data all the time, Sarah. When is the next update from the bomb?
The next update will be at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. So we are updating these track maps now every 3 hours.
Sarah Scully from the Bureau of Meteorology, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, some residents are evacuating ahead of the cyclone, while others are sticking it out and preparing their homes for destructive winds and heavy rainfall. As they gear up for what's to come, there's a mix of emotions.
I actually had to move out of my house and move in with a friend because I'm at high risk from winds and trees landing on my place. Other than that, at my friend's house, we're just stocking up on the goods, getting power banks and everything like that in case we do lose power, and then, yeah, seeing what happens.
Well, I cleaned the guttering and got some dog food from the shops and just plastic buckets and things like that that were around the house. We just picked up anything plastic that could blow away.
We're from the States, we live close to the Gulf, and we're familiar with hurricanes and tropical storms of the like, so we're prepared, but we're a little nervous. You can't help but be a little nervous, right?
I keep on half the time, actually, yeah. We just keep on checking the news and, just pray for the best.
And just having some spare water, batteries and lights just in case the power goes out.
Well, we're elevated a little bit above the beach and things like that, so no, we're pretty good. Bought a few extra, eggs and things like that.
Well, Tropical Cyclone Alfred is the first to make landfall in the region in some 50 years, meaning a lot of residents don't have any experience with storms like this. Chief Engineer at James Cook University's Cyclone Testing Station, David Henderson, says people should prepare for a lengthy stint indoors.
Cyclones can be really very long duration events. So this event's going to be moving very slowly. We're going to be under severe winds that are forecast to be hanging around for several hours. So people have got to be really prepared in their own minds and what they've got them in their house, wherever they're sheltering their house, to be really just bunkered down there for quite a few hours around it. And you're right, the noise can be really huge. There's also going to be potential for a lot of wind-driven rain getting into our buildings, under our doors, through our windows, because in this type of wind, the wind's coming horizontally. So it's getting blown up, our roof going up, the valley gutters may be dropping down into our ceilings in space, depending on the wind speed, the type of house, all of those things. So the big thing with people is it's just going to take so long, and then afterwards there will probably be no power for several days. So we just got to be really patient and prepared, and just to be really do all your preparations beforehand. So that includes cleaning up all the yards around, making sure nothing can be moved by the wind. Like if you can move it, the wind is definitely going to be able to move it. So that's all big pot plants. It's pulling down your shade cloth structures. It's pruning away stuff, so less chance of your windows getting broken by debris, which then causes pressure to suddenly come in and cause a great big load on the house, plus all the wind and water coming in. So make sure we've got the prep, so you've worked out which room you're going to be sheltering in, usually the smallest room near a corridor, nothing with any big windows in it, and that you've got your water, your food, lots of battery things to keep your phones going, provided the network's up and running afterwards and those things.
That is David Henderson from the James Cook University.
So really
well, let's
just
bring in
replaying
Craig
the same
Zonka,
stuff.
who's an ABC breakfast presenter in Brisbane. Craig, hi there. What is it that people you've been talking to are most concerned about at the moment?
Well, Lorna, it's been a bit of a weird day in Brisbane because that cyclone system has slowed down. So we were expecting to probably hear those stronger winds already today. We're just in the Brisbane CBD where we are. And so we're starting to sort of feel the effect of those stronger winds. But when we woke up first thing this morning, there were even patches of blue sky. So it's an eerie feeling. There's still that, I guess, particular concern around sandbagging your properties. But what we've noticed particularly this morning is that there is this extra window to prepare properties, so much so that in some council areas they've been able to reactivate some sandbag stations because as the cyclone sits off the coast for that little bit longer, now making landfall potentially on Saturday morning, that the rainfall is of particular concern as it sort of sits there and maybe brings in more rainfall. They're talking about over southeast Queensland possible falls of 800 millimetres in the coming days, so flooding will be a key area of concern.
Going about, is there many people on the streets? Is life almost normal in Brisbane?
No, it's like the
I
pandemic.
wouldn't quite say that. It's
All
very
around.
quiet on the streets. I just had to duck into a supermarket before and it was still quite busy, and that supermarket was going to close just after lunchtime today. The early messaging had been to stay off the streets, but of course with Cyclone Alfred staying off the coast that little bit longer, you're seeing a few people out and about. There are some coffee shops that are open. In the CBD, it's pretty much very much a ghost town around the Queen Street Mall in Brisbane. At the supermarket, there was no bread available, water stocks were out, people were hurriedly buying up the fresh fruit and vegetables that were on offer, and it was pretty busy through the checkouts.
What have all you guys with the ABC been doing? Because you're right there on the river.
Yeah, so for the ABC office, most of us have had to relocate because our building itself is susceptible to flooding, as we saw in 2022. So we've set up a temporary studio in a hotel in Spring Hill in the heart of the Brisbane CBD. So our regular office is sort of in that general direction across the other side of the river. But we've had to be prepared ourselves. So we packed up yesterday. We started broadcasting our breakfast program from here this morning from 5 o'clock, trying to keep people up to date with the very latest information and knowing that we can continue all the way through, including during the flood event that is likely to follow the cyclone system itself as it crosses the coast.
But of course all you guys have got families too, so you've got to take care of them.
Yes, we do. I'll put my hand up and say I've got 2 young children. My wife is also here in the hotel with me. So I've got a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. As you can gather, a hotel room in a small hotel room, there is a bit of cabin fever that can set in. So just after I finished on air this morning, I raced them out to the park to have a bit of a run around to, let loose a little bit of that energy, because the next few days as the weather deteriorates, there won't be that sort of opportunity. And I wasn't alone. Most of the parks around Brisbane have been pretty busy in that regard because, of course, schools are closed. A lot of workplaces haven't been open today. They won't be tomorrow. And I'm just feeling a couple of spits of rain come, and that's been on and off through the day so far, and will only really pick up from here, Lorna.
And Craig, it's at times like this when the audience really appreciates it and it's how vital it is, the role that you're doing. Do you feel that sense of responsibility?
Oh, without a doubt. That's part of what we do at the ABC. It's something we pride ourselves on. It's an immense privilege to be let into someone's life any time of the day or night, on radio, on TV. Our role in emergencies cannot be underestimated. And for us, whether it be in our regular studio or here in our temporary studio, we are relying on our audience to be our eyes and ears, effectively, to let us know what they are seeing, what they are doing, and then also trying to act as
I'll come back to you guys a bit later on when we have an
questions
update.
as well, because it's all about that critical flow of
So
information.
for now, we're just sheltering in place, staying
particularly
inside.
in a time where
No
you
need
have
to go outside and be a
Category 2
dickhead.
cyclone sitting off the coast of southeast Queensland. The
He's
last
on his
time this
way,
happened
he's just taking his
was
sweet
50
ass time.
years ago. For most people who live here
Thanks
now,
for checking in,
and we're
guys.
talking
Thanks
about,
for watching.
across southeast Queensland,
Much
about
love.
4
I'll
million
talk to you
people that
later.
are in the firing line of not just this cyclone, but the flooding event that is set to follow.